So if you're ready for the last time today, I'd like to introduce to you our honored guest speaker for this session, Ms. Ting Pei Ling. Now, Ms. Ting is a community pharmacist in Health Lane Family Pharmacy, with 7 years of working experience in a retail pharmacy. As a community pharmacist, she's in contact with patients and customers closely to advise them on the usage of medications and provide health-related counseling to her customers. So she's also in a really good position to talk about how we can avoid COVID-19 and the measures that we can take. So Ms. Ting, if you're ready, I'd like to hand the floor over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj, for the kind introduction. So I'd like to share my screen right now. Just give me a second. Hello, everyone. Hope that actually, well, it's a long day. I see the schedule. Actually, this is the last section for all the people around this platform. Just give me a second. I'd like to share the screen so that I can start my sharing. Wait a minute. Okay. So everyone can see the screen, right? Okay. So good evening, everyone. Actually, it's really a great honor to be here, to be invited, and then to be around with all of you. I'm so glad actually in this lovely evening to be here with all of you to share actually how we can do to shield actually from COVID-19. I'm very happy actually to see all the senior citizens actually take up the effort to learn new things and then to try themselves actually in this Zoom platform and then embrace this new era technology. I would like to give you a big clap for that. And then you give your big clap for yourself also, because actually this effort is appreciated, and because I believe that actually this effort close between the generation, the old generation and younger generation. So now let's get back to our actually topic today. So how actually we wanted to show what we can do actually to protect ourselves from this COVID-19 virus. Maybe some of us here, right here, will think about this topic is a little bit like outdated topic, because we have been actually living with this COVID-19 maybe around 2 years already. However, I think it is a great opportunity for me to be here to do a little bit of refreshment, and also to do a little bit of give a little bit of small piece of advice to everyone right here, so that actually we can do something to protect ourselves better from this virus, especially during this period, during the period that our country is gradually actually reopened in different sectors. For example, like in traveling, which actually I miss the most. Okay, throughout these 2 years, actually we have been through a few times of MCO and lockdown. Currently, right now, we are able to smell actually the sense of freedom and the happiness of meeting up the close one with the physical connection with them. But bear in mind, actually, we need to know that the virus is still around. And lately, from the news, we can see that European country, their COVID case actually is spiking. And so I would like to share a little bit here so that we can do our part, so that we can enjoy this sense of freedom a bit longer and forever. And the term of lockdown, this term of lockdown will become a past tense forever and no longer come out actually and appeared in our headlines, country headlines, okay? So let's see, I would like to actually share a little bit of data of Malaysia currently situation of COVID. Okay, so we can see right here from the data, we can see actually the case reducing. Even though these few days, actually our government KKM announced that there will be a little spiking of COVID-19 case, we are glad that actually the death case and also the hospital admission case actually dropping since actually October of 2021. So this is a very, very exciting good news to everyone. But as I mentioned, we need to do something to maintain this trend so that it won't go upwards, but then actually to maintain or even go downward, okay? So this COVID-19 and human actually is like a battle, you know, it's like an enemy, and then we need to protect ourselves. And then old folks always, we know terms in Chinese, they always say that you need to know about your enemies, then only you can win the battle. So I would like to go, we need to know about this virus a little bit more detail, so we know how that it transmitted and also how it behaved. Okay, so from now, actually, the researcher actually found that this virus actually is transmitted through the droplet. For example, you can see this person that maybe carries the COVID. So when they have the symptoms, they sneeze and they cough, actually, they were actually producing some droplet, okay? If another person, which is a healthy person, inhale the droplet with the virus, then they might actually get infected. This is one way of transmission. The other way, when the droplets actually drop on the surface for on the items, for example, on the tables, all these things, and then when we actually touch it, and the virus actually can go through our hand when we touch our face or maybe our mouth and nose. Okay, so this is very important, and this actually to remind us again why it's so important to have the mask. Just imagine if we wear the mask right here, it reduces the risk. And if we keep disinfectant, sanitize our hand and wash our hand actually frequently, which is a new norm right now, actually protect ourselves from the COVID-19 get into our body. And we need to disinfect our items, okay, in the house frequently, so that actually when there's a droplet with the virus can be actually eliminated. Okay, so this is very important. So we need to practice all the new norm right now so that to protect ourselves, to prevent all this virus actually get into our body. Okay, so unfortunately, if there is a virus and it get into our body, and then it get into our throat, and then it replicate and become more and more, so the person actually will develop some symptoms. For example, they might actually have some sore throat and maybe lack of taste, fever. All this actually is a very common infection, viral infection symptoms. Okay, so they might also experience some diarrhea. So I would like to share right now what actually happened, so that we know how this enemy behave inside our body, so that we know how to protect ourselves. So this is the virus. Okay, this is the COVID-19 virus. So when it need to go, when it go into our human body, it need to bind to a receptor. So this is our cell, and this is the cell wall. So once the virus actually bind with the receptor, it will actually go into our cell. It needs our human cell actually to replicate, meaning to double up, to reproduce. They cannot make themselves, they cannot actually, they use our human body as a factory to multiply their own virus, and then so that they can happily live inside the host. But this is not good for the host, because when they do this thing, they're actually damaging our cell. Okay, so when the virus come in already, they use us as a factory, the cell of the human body as a factory, and then they will replicate, and then they will release. So all these things happen, repeat and repeat, and then actually increase the viral load inside our body. So sometimes the virus multiply very, very fast, especially when our immune system, okay? We know that actually the virus actually is our enemy. So we do have actually a soldier inside our body to protect ourselves. However, if our soldier is not strong enough, the virus actually can replicate very fast, okay? So if they actually spread from the throat to the lung, okay, and then it might actually cause pneumonia. So what is pneumonia? Maybe we heard the term quite frequently during these 2 years actually. Pneumonia actually is a symptoms of swelling inside our lung tissue. So the symptoms of getting pneumonia will be actually difficulty in breathing, okay? So we look a little bit closely into our lung. Actually, what happened to our lung when the virus actually invade into our lung cell. So for your information, this is the diagram. This small something like that, actually we call it alveoli. It's actually a lung cells to exchange the gas. They give us the oxygen, transfer the oxygen to the bloodstream, and then they take out the carbon dioxide from the bloodstream, and then we can exhale out from our respiratory tract. Okay, So for your information, the yellow color, this one will be the virus, and then the blue color is like the oxygen. So this is the bloodstream. So when the virus actually invade through the throat and then go into our lung, what will happen? If our immune system is not strong, cannot fight against the virus, so it will replicate very fast. So they will be like having a party right there, you know, they are very happy. And then they will settle around here because they feel like very comfortable right there. Okay, so they will settle between the alveoli and also blood vessel. So there will be actually a barrier of actually gas exchange. So that's why the oxygen level inside the person that actually having COVID-19 virus will be actually lower down because the gas exchange actually reducing already. And then if this one cannot be tackled, our immune system still cannot work effectively. And what will happen? Actually, pneumonia kicks in, and actually there will be an inflammation. Inflammation actually is good, meaning that your body is reacting to the virus, but then there's an over-inflammation, meaning that we call it cytokine storm. Too much of inflammation causes actually even further the alveoli separate from the blood vessel. So even if getting worse, the person actually might have actually fluid fill up in their lung. So at this stage, usually the patient might need ventilator to help to get enough of oxygen. Yeah, so this is like a stage 4, stage 5 that they need to admit to the hospital. Okay, so now, just now I did mention this is how the enemy behave. So we need to know how about ourselves, how about our defense system. We need to know about our defense system also. So just now I mentioned this is a battle. So there will be enemy, there will be a soldier. Okay, so the soldier inside our body, I categorize it actually into 2 types. Okay, we call it actually innate immune system, and the other one we'll call it actually adaptive immune system. Okay, so what is innate immune system? Okay, we just remember that innate is a fast, very fast acting soldier. They work very fast, okay? They are the first line, okay? And adaptive, they work a little bit slower, like a backup, okay, in our system. So we have 2 types of soldier inside our body, okay? So let's see what is the example of innate immune system. The first one that I would like to show you all, actually our physical barrier, like our skin, our hair, even our cilia inside our nose, actually is actually acting as an innate immunity because it actually have a barrier from us to prevent the pathogen, for example, like bacteria or virus actually invade into our body. So this is actually the first line and very effective way to protect ourselves from getting infection. Okay, second, the first line immunity, like innate immunity, we call it chemical barrier. So the example, very typical example of chemical barrier will be like stomach acid. Stomach acid, okay, a lot of people will think, oh, I'm always having gastric, I don't like my, I don't like the feel or something like that. But actually, it's actually a very important protective barrier for us to protect ourselves from the pathogen. For example, when we ingest something actually with some bacteria or virus, once they go to our gastric stomach, it's very acidic, and then they will kill all the germ. So it's actually a very good place that actually can help us to prevent from getting infection. Of course, other digestive enzyme are also considered as a chemical barrier also. So the last but not least in the innate immune system is we call it cellular defense. So maybe I show you this animation cartoon so that you can understand it very easily. So it actually involves white blood cell. Mainly actually we call it neutrophil. So this white color, you see, is a white blood cell. We call it neutrophil. So it's actually, it works that very fast when once the pathogen go through all the barrier, physical barrier, chemical barrier, and they go into our bloodstream already. So when this neutrophil find that there's something actually inside, okay, I need to go to work. So they work very fast. They observe the pathogen, the bad bacteria, or the virus, and then they eat it, okay? And then we call it actually phagocytosis, okay? It's a process, and then they will actually increase the inflammation so that it works better to kill the virus and also bacteria inside our body. So bear in mind, innate immunity is always acting very fast, okay? So I would like to go to the other one will be adaptive immunity. So we categorize adaptive immunity into two. So one will be the active immunity, the other one will be passive immunity. So active immunity meaning that our body produces naturally the immune system, immunity to protect ourselves from getting the virus or this thing. Okay, and the other one will be actually we call it passive immunity. So we actually get it from outsource. Okay, so this is actually some example of active immunity. Natural one will be when we actually having some cough or infection, our body will produce all the antibody and then to fight against the virus or bacteria. So this is naturally producing actually in our body. And then the other one is vaccination, because when we get vaccine, and then actually it's stimulate our body to produce the antibody so that our body can actually fight against the virus. Okay, I would like to go a little bit deeper to show you a little bit of the function of the antibody. One of the soldier in this group, we call it B cell. Okay, this is the B cell. So B cells, when the B cells find that, oh, there is a bad guy, okay, there is a virus, there's a bacteria right there, so I need to kill them. So they won't kill immediately like the neutrophil, they act in a different way. So they will produce some protein, we call it antibody, okay? This is the antibody, okay? So the antibody actually will recognize the antigen and bind to the antigen, so that our body, other soldier, we recognize this is a bad one, so we need to attack. So they actually are more specific. However, for this adaptive immunity, usually they work a little bit slower because they need to get recognized and then they need to produce the antibody, all this thing. So this is why that we understand our government, KKM, tell us that after your vaccination, it takes a little bit of time to have the immune protection from the vaccine. Okay, so for your information, this kind of antibody might actually, some of them might stay a bit longer, lifetime in our body, but some of them actually will gradually reduce. This is also another reason that why we need to get a booster vaccination, so that actually our immunity can get back to a higher level to protect ourselves actually from getting the virus infection or bacterial infection. Okay. So the last one will be a passive immunity. So just now I mentioned passive immunity actually is not naturally produced inside our body, but actually is get from external. So for example, when a mother actually doing breastfeeding, they're actually passing their immunity to the baby. So the other one will be artificial, that we get the jab with the antibody. So the antibody actually is produced in the lab. Once the antibody inject into our body, they can act and fight against the pathogen inside our body. Okay, so I would like to have a little bit of interaction. Okay, I see the chat box. Okay, so
yeah, Ms. Ting, hi, sorry, yeah. We've compiled the questions for you, so no problem. We can ask the questions and you can answer.
Oh, okay, good.
Or do you still have more slides to carry on?
Yeah, I do have.
Okay, carry on. Sorry.
So I have a little bit of interaction. Maybe all of you that actually have, you can type in the chat box to answer this one. If you are in the first category, haven't get any vaccination because certain reason, then you type 1 inside the chat box. And if you have completed only 1 dose, then you can write 2 inside the chat box so that we can have a look. Majority of the person right here actually having Okay, I can see that most of them are 3, meaning that completed 2 doses. Anyone actually completed the booster doses also for the vaccination? Yeah, I can see a lot of 3 right here. Okay, good. Some of that's 2. Okay, great. Okay, thanks for the interaction. I'm really so happy that there's a good info. I saw 4. Okay, someone actually have the booster already. Great. Okay, so yeah, thank you for the interaction. Okay, so let's go on for the next one. So I would like to also share here a little bit of some high-risk group of the COVID-19. so that actually we can know how to protect this category people. So first of all will be older adults, which actually age more than 65 years old. And then some people that actually are having this kind of disease like cancer, require chronic kidney disease, liver disease, or like lung disease, for example, they have asthma or COPD, diabetic patient, heart disease, stroke, and also other, they have previous stroke, or maybe they have a cerebral vascular disease. Some old people that actually they have dementia or other neurological condition, they are actually categorized in high risk group. So another group will be actually people that actually have immunocompromised, meaning their immune system is really low due to maybe they are undergoing some chemotherapy, they are actually taking medication to suppress their immune system, or maybe HIV patient, even pregnancy and overweight, obesity category also categorized under this high risk group. So from here, actually, we can see mostly this group of people, they are in this high risk because they might actually have a condition inside their body. Their body can get inflamed easily, and also their immune system is actually at the low side. Okay. Okay. So here you go. This is Pac-Man. Okay, it's a very famous my childhood game. Okay, that time. Okay, so wanted to use this one to share a little bit very easy illustration for our body immune system, how they works. So Pac-Man is our body soldier, you know. Okay, so this is the ghost. Of course, is the bacteria and also the virus that we don't want. So this white big dot, when the Pac-Man eat this big dot, and then they will become strong, and then they can actually digest and ingest the bad guy. So they will kill the actually bacteria and also the virus. So I actually use this big dot represent actually the nutrient inside our body to make our soldier, this Pac-Man, become stronger, so that actually they can actually kill the virus and also the pathogen that our body don't want it to be inside our body. So from the slide previously, I would like to emphasize one thing, that actually nutrition plays a very important role in our immune system, but it doesn't actually prevent us from the COVID-19 directly, but indirectly by promoting a very better great health, improving our immunity, so that in this, it can help to increase the ability of our body soldier to fight against the enemy. So healthy diet, of course, it include all the greens, the fruits, omega-3s, and then we have the micronutrients, which is all the vitamins and minerals, and high antioxidant food that contain a polyphenol. Polyphenol is a very high antioxidant thing that actually can be found inside some red wine, all these things, okay? Okay, so another interaction right here, I would like actually to talk about, maybe you can write down any supplements or anything that you are taking to protect, to improve your immunity that actually currently you all are taking. So if you're taking vitamin C, you can write 1. If you're taking vitamin C and D, you can write 1 and 3. If you're not taking any supplements, you can write 7. If you taken something, but then you can't remember already, you can put 8, so that we can actually have an ideas right now, what is the trend, what is the person. Okay, okay, you can see there's a lot of 1 and 7, some of them not taking any supplements. Okay, omega-3, there is someone also. Okay, okay, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, which is vitamin C, omega-3, vitamin D, multivitamin, and probiotic. Okay, okay, good, good, good. Thank you for all the feedback. Okay, you guys are very good actually. Thank you, thank you. And 1, I can see actually a lot of people taking vitamin C right here. Good, good. Okay, so I would like to go through a little bit one by one here. So the first one that I want to go through will be, of course, the famous one, vitamin C. It's actually a very, very common vitamin that actually we know that is important, play an important role inside our immunity. It's an essential micronutrient inside our body. It actually high in antioxidant. What is also called antioxidant? Maybe let me explain antioxidant in this way. Antioxidant, it helps to protect our cell. We call from the free radical. Free radical is also a bad guy, okay? So it will damage our cell. cell. So if we take something actually high antioxidant, any food or vitamins that high antioxidant, so it will actually help us to fight the free radical, so our cell actually will be healthier. Okay, so there's also found that vitamin C also supporting our cellular function, both the innate, remember the fast one, and then also the adaptive, the antibody one. Take it a little bit slower, but they have memory type of immunity. They're helping these two type of soldier inside our body. Okay, so the other one will be the zinc. Okay, so zinc actually is an essential mineral inside our body. So it helps actually our body to maintain our immune system and also our metabolism function. There's a study found that actually if our body lack of the zinc deficiency, it will cause impair of actually the innate immunity. Such as just now I show you the photo with the phagocytosis, the neutrophil cannot work properly. Okay, so the food source actually zinc will be like the meat, seafood, dairy product, eggs, legumes, nuts, and also seed. And nowadays in the market, there will be a lot of vitamin C supplements that actually are added with this zinc, so that to help us to boost up our immunity, to help us to fight against the infections. Okay. And the
Hi, Ms. Ting. Ms. Ting, so sorry to interrupt you. We just have about 3 minutes left, and then we'll go into the Q&A, yeah? So if you could wrap up in about 3 minutes.
Okay, so can.
All right, thank you.
Okay, welcome. So vitamin D actually is a sunshine supplements, sunshine vitamins. Okay, so but then there's a lot of person actually deficiency in this vitamin D. So it might actually increase the inflammation cytokine. So this is very important. Just now I mentioned it might actually increase the risk of getting pneumonia, and also they have actually a virus respiratory tract infection. And the probiotics also very important because it regulates the host immunity. So it actually will calm down the inflammation when that's over. Okay, so probiotics is good bacteria inside our intestine. Okay, so this is the black elderberries. It's a plant-based. Actually, they have high in polyphenol, which is a high antioxidant, and also act as an anti-inflammatory to reduce the inflammation inside our body also. And we do have andrographis as a plant-based. We call it kings of betel, and they have actually antiviral properties. They found that in this COVID-19, they block the receptor, so that hopefully by blocking the receptor, the virus cannot bind to the receptor and prevent us actually getting from the virus infection. Okay, of course, exercise, stress, sleep well, all these things like social distance, this one very important to protect us. I would like to sum up a little bit right here with this actually model. We call it a Swiss cheese model. So this is the virus and this is us. How we want to protect ourselves from this virus infection? Actually, we need to protect ourselves by all these methods. And then nowadays, there's a lot of testing, self-test kit. I would like to encourage everyone to do a lot of actually self-test kit at home before any gathering to protect our loved one. And then so that actually this can help us to maintain, to prevent another pandemic wave happen again. Okay. And I would like to introduce that it will be actually some package that boosts up immunity booster package that actually available in the platform, so that this is the immune booster, so that you all can take this one so that it can improve our immune system. And we do have something actually good for the lung, and this is it comes in the package so that you can enjoy the special offer while stock lasts. And actually this package will be available from 20th of November next Saturday. And we do offer some bond and joint health for all the senior citizens right here. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you. And this is the end of the sharing. Thank you again for the organizer for actually inviting me to this such meaningful event.
Thank you, Ms. Ting. Thank you very much for that very informative session. We have quite a few questions from our participants, so we'll get right into it. I've got one question here from Ms. Sukinder, who asks, can we take all these vitamins and minerals together? And when is the best time to take them, i.e. in the morning or at night?
Okay. Actually, different minerals and different vitamins or some supplements, they act differently. So for example, For example, like B complex is one type of vitamins inside our body that we need to generate energy. So I will advise people to take it actually in the morning instead of at night, because you want you want to have energy level sustained during the daytime to give you energy to work. So it depends on what type of vitamins and minerals that we are taking.
Do I have for the Q&A?
Okay.
Huh?
Did I answer the questions?
Yeah, you did. And then just to take it on further, there has been a question. Vitamin C and zinc dosage, can you advise us on that?
Okay. Of course, there will be a lot of people worried about high dose of actually vitamin C will cause kidney problem, like a kidney stone. Yes, we cannot deny that. But if you take it daily for adult, for 1000 mg per day, because our body cannot absorb all. So we try to take something, the vitamin C that can easily absorb, something actually more natural, so that our body can be absorbed and utilize it. Then will be great. So usually it depends on individual. I will advise not more than 2000 mg a day. Even though you're taking 2000 mg a day, which is the highest already, shouldn't maintain actually for long. Maybe just for during the time that you are sick or something like that. After that, should be titrate down to a normal, maybe 1500 mg per day. And for the zinc, usually it will be actually 10 mg to 15 mg will be good enough to protect ourselves. Bear in mind that actually in our diet also they have zinc. So even though a little bit lower of the zinc inside the supplements will actually will be enough. So.
What about vitamin D? Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Vitamin D, yeah.
Okay. Vitamin D3, it really depends on the individual. So because everyone have a different time actually exposed under the sun. And we know that it's a sunshine vitamins that actually our body will produce ourselves. But nowadays, I feel like actually a lot of people that actually didn't get enough of sunshine, even though we are in the sunshine country, Malaysia, even though when we go out also we apply a lot of sunscreen. And one more thing that we need to bear in mind is the skin color. Pigmentation also will actually affect the vitamin D concentration inside our body. There's no actually a very difficult to let everyone to know what is the exact dosage of vitamin D that we need inside our body, because it's really individualized. But we can do actually a blood test to test how many vitamin D in our blood that actually is it in the low side or is it in the high side or something like that, to actually decide what dose that we need.
Okay, great. Thank you for that answer. There's one question here in relation to masks. Since Eunice asks if since masks have a plastic coating to keep viruses in or out, do we get enough oxygen in and get the CO2 out when we use them?
I think this is not a problem, because when we're wearing the mask, actually we can still breathe easily, just extra a little bit of the barrier because of the filtration. Actually, it prevents the droplet to go inside our body. But I don't think actually it won't affect our concentration inside our body. And yeah, so it's actually quite safe unless you're wearing the very thick mask like the N95 and go for exercise, because when you do exercise, our body need extra oxygen, because your muscle need the oxygen to produce the energy. Maybe at that time, you might actually have shortness of breath, because your body are giving you a signal that your body actually running out of oxygen. So normally, wearing normal masks like those triple masks, and then just walk and then go out, I don't think it will affect our oxygen's exchange inside our lung, all these things. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. One more question here, just 1 second. There's a question here from another participant. Now that we need to live with COVID-19 in the new normal, besides good hygiene, masking, and even maintaining a proper diet, taking a balanced diet, what other areas do you think we should pay attention to?
If we can actually really do this, all these things, I think it's really a good thing already. And of course, we wanted to end this one very soon, but then I don't think there's one solution to fix this thing. We hope that the virus won't get mutated so fast, and the vaccination actually works. And also by doing actually whatever we can do now, actually is really good enough to protect us from getting the virus and spreading. So I think we need to actually accept this is a new norm right now. And then, we need to learn to how to live with this virus. And then of course, like just now we mentioned, our government, KKM, always actually advise us and have a new protection, like doing more self-test kit when you go to meet up with others people to protect the loved one, when there's actually positive, and then we try to actually quarantine ourselves, and then so I think this one actually helps us to prevent the spreading of the virus and help us actually to make the curve actually maintain at the low one instead of actually spiking.
Great, great. Thank you very much, Ms. Ting, for that answer and for your for answering all the other questions as well. That's all the time we have left for this evening. So I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you very much again, Ms. Ting, for your time today and for sharing your useful insights with regards to the talk on how we can prevent COVID-19 and take the necessary steps. Folks, that's it. We have come to the end of the last session of the Amazing Seniors launch. And this brings an end to a very eventful, power-packed, lively, vibrant launch that we've had. This could not have been possible, and I'm sure my bosses and my colleagues will agree with me. This would not have been possible without all of you for your participation, for your interaction with us and all that. Thank you so very much on behalf of my co-host Derek. We thank you for your patience with us.